This is my favorite way to spend streams with you guys. And I want to end 2024 doing my favorite thing. We have spent the beginning part of the stream, well, the entirety of the stream, reminiscing about 2024, gaming in 2024. We even went far back to go to the 90s and talking about the brink of the creation of the internet. If you check out the YouTube channel right now, there is a video looking forward at 2025 games that we're interested in. Obviously, Monster Hunter is the main one, but there are other ones that I am also excited about. So I thought, what better way than to cap off 2024, than to do what we have done a couple times, but we're going to do it in a more intense way, a more intricate way, of watching how we learned about Monster Hunter Wilds throughout 2024. Because, of course, we learned about the existence of Monster Hunter Wilds at the Game Awards last year. So it's literally been like a year since we've learned about the existence of this game. And then 2024 truly was just us learning about what this game is going to be for us. So we're going to watch all of the trailers and reminisce about our journey learning about Monster Hunter. So we're going to start things off with the reveal trailer. This was just telling us that it exists, and this was the thing that was shown at the Game Awards. And I think a lot of people, when we first saw this, I had personally been waiting all year to hear something about a new Monster Hunter. Something. Surely. But every game show happened, every announcement happened, and there was no Monster Hunter. None of it. Nowhere to be found. So at the end of the year, after waiting all year to hear about a new Monster Hunter, I did not want to believe, I didn't want to let myself be emotionally wrecked if this ended up not being Monster Hunter, because right away it looks like Monster Hunter. And we were watching the Game Awards with our podcast, the Destiny Community Podcast. We were watching it live, and everyone was like, "What? This looks like Monster Hunter." And I'm like, "I don't know." And I'm like, it looks like Monster Hunter." And I'm like, "I don't know." I didn't want to believe until the very last moment, because I didn't want to allow myself to emotionally be like, "Oh my God," and then be told, "Nope, it ain't." But when the music started kicking in, that's when I started to believe that it would be a Monster Hunter. But I didn't want to fully allow myself to believe it was real until I heard the proof of a hero. That's when I allowed myself to cry. I teared up. Yeah, I absolutely teared up. This part. Ah! And then the Capcom pops up. Monster Hunter Wilds. Oh my goodness. This was crazy. This was crazy. And you have to just picture that at this point, we had been watching 3 hours of the Game Awards. This is the year's biggest gaming show. And we'd watched so many trailers, and still, Monster Hunter was nowhere to be found. It was nowhere. And then we got hit with the one more thing. And that's when they played this. Man. And then we saw freaking Rathalos. My God. And then they said 2025. And I was like, oh my God. 2025. Capcom does tend to do this. Like, you don't normally have to wait longer than a year-ish, usually. Oh my God, what a journey that was. So that was when we first learned about Monster Hunter. That was, of course, at the Game Awards, so it's in December. We didn't hear anything else, really, until May 30th of 2024. This has 1.7 million views for Monster Hunter's first trailer. And this is what they showed us. So right away, right from the beginning, if you've played Monster Hunter for you see this and you're starting to be like, what's going on? You got the sand ship. Just this alone was breaking my brain. Just this. right? It's like there's our hunter, there's a palico. Who are these people? There's another palico. And I actually didn't realize from this trailer initially that the palico was talking. I didn't know who was talking, saying hiya, but I did not know it was the palico. That I didn't know that was the palico. This is where we met Gemma. She looks a little like she's gonna eat you in this still frame, which I know a lot of people want. But this is where we met Gemma.
We can get things set up and ready to go, and then we can get started.
And Alma. I love Alma. Alma's beautiful. I love her so much. She's so sweet and cute. And then you've got Gemma, who the internet went nuts for right away, and everyone started putting Gemma in their thumbnails because it makes people click it more. So this is
gonna be great.
And that's the palico again. So right away, that's a really good frame right there. We're being introduced to all of these characters in the new Monster Hunter. We're hearing our palico talk. We're of course seeing the boy that a lot of the story is gonna be surrounded.
I hope we find them soon.
The setup of the story. Oh my goodness.
Look!
Little Miss Forge herself, Gemma. Chatacabra. Look at that. My God, beautiful. We actually get to see us on our Sacred with our palico, with Alma in the field. And obviously, as we've got to play Monster Hunter and for ourselves, we see just how involved Alma is in everything that we do. She gives us our quests, of course, like other handlers, but we actually get to see what a handler does. Oh, I'm so happy we get to really see, instead of just being told what a handler does. We get to see her in the field crouching next to monsters and taking notes. She calls out when we've cut a tail, and if we've knocked a part off that we can put in our slinger, she lets us know to pick it up. It's so nice to be with our handler like this in the Forbidden Lands, in an area that we're not supposed to be in. It's so nice.
Incredible. I've never heard of a Karachnoth herd this big before. One of them's got big spikes on its back.
Oh, and then we learned that this group of animals, all of the ones without spikes are the females, and then the males have spikes on their back. And the reason that you will see when you were playing the beta, you would see all of these animals come together when the weather got really bad, is because they know that if they go towards the male that has the spikes on the back, the lightning will hit his spikes and it will protect all of them. Isn't that cool? Ain't that cool? That's what I always love about, and I think a lot of us really love about the Monster Hunter games. Like, you can play good games and great games even, but the Monster Hunter team puts so much effort into all of these super tiny details of the game. There's so many details, and all of that put together, it might seem like a really small thing that the females gather around a male, he's got spikes on his back because of the lightning. It's like, yeah, who really cares? But it makes the world feel so much real and so much more alive. And it all adds to that experience, right? It all adds to it. Doshaguma. Look at him. We get to see that there's pack monsters.
Now to lead it away from the pack. We'll make for the desert.
Right.
This was like the first little bit of gameplay that we ever saw in May. This was what we saw. Was us on our Sacred, leading the Doshaguma away from the pack, hitting things, hitting traps. Look at that. It ends up hitting the pack so the pack can't keep chasing him. Because even though I think a lot of people might end up just using dung pods or dung bombs to get rid of pack monsters, you can lead them into traps, and you can lead them into a bunch of other stuff to split up the pack too. The weather changing, the sandstorm. Getting sucked into Balahara's sand hole. About 2 minutes. Hey! Oh my God, this part right here I don't know what it is about my lizard brain, but hearing them say, just listen. Hearing Alma say this, now commencing the hunt by order of the guild. Oh my God. I loved that. Because again, it's making us feel more attached to what a handler does, to what a guild is. And I think that's a big reason also why we have that video with Daisy Ridley telling us about the guild and what the guild do, because it's actually bringing it all together. Like, we've heard that the guild exists and we have to hunt things that the guild allows us to hunt. We can't just hunt everything, but we don't actually really get to experience it in game like this. We just don't really get that. So having just this little detail, now commencing the hunt by order of the guild. It just connects it all so much more. I really like it. I really like it. Obviously, when we're in game, we're like, I want to hunt all the things and I want to make my new funny looking boots and I want my cool looking weapon. But in terms of like the lore, we're technically only supposed to hunt things that the guild tells us it's okay to hunt. And we're also only supposed to hunt things if it doesn't harm anything, right? Like, we're supposed to keep the balance. So if a population gets out of control or a monster gets really violent, we're trying to keep the balance of everything and not upset the ecosystem. We're supposed to be helping the ecosystem.
Now commencing the hunt by order of the guild.
Technically. Oh, and the music. Ding, 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 ding. Chatacabra. We got to see our boys for the first time. Oh, Sacred picking you up? Sacred being able to pick you up when you get knocked down? Yeah, poachers are actually illegal. Yeah, you're not supposed to poach in Monster Hunter World. You're not supposed to do any poaching. We got to see Sacred, Chatacabra, Doshaguma, Sacred picking you up off of the ground. Little monsters attacking the big monsters. Switching weapons! Oh my God, we got to see us switching weapons for the first time. That was crazy. This was in May. This trailer happened in May. We got to see the two weapon system exists. And shooting from Sacred. And this! Oh my God! This whole section, I think we all collectively lost our minds. Seeing the greatsword do an off, we now know that this is an offset attack. You do an attack at the same time that the monster is attacking you, and it does this offset attack. Boom! Dragging forward, slapping him. Oh my gosh. And the focus strike? We didn't know it was a focus strike, but you can actually see you can see the wound on the Doshaguma. See, you can see like the wounds are glowing. We didn't know it at the time. I mean, so I know we did end up slowing it down and seeing a lot of this stuff, but we didn't know what it meant. We didn't know what glowing bits on a monster meant. We didn't know what focus strikes were. We didn't know what offset attacks were. Happy New Year, Stormlog. Got to see the focus strike.
As a lead hunter for this
We learned that we're a lead hunter because a lot of the time in Monster Hunter, we're like a novice hunter and they're teaching us how to be a hunter. This is not the case for Monster Hunter Wilds. We're actually being like an experienced hunter who's going to the Forbidden Lands. Huge, crazy.
expedition.
Thank you.
See, that's what I mean. You see that? The male got hit by the lightning. There's our SOS flare. Confirming multiplayer. Co-op. And then this! We also got to see a clash attack. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. This trailer was full. It's only like 2 minutes 58, but this trailer is full of focus strike, clash attacks, the dual weapon system, shooting from the sacred picking you up after you get knocked over. There was so many features of the game that we learned about in this trailer, and we just didn't know it yet, but we know that it was cool. We knew it was super cool. Second trailer, The Hunter's Journey. So this was the second trailer. It was the third time we'd seen Monster Hunter. We obviously had the announcement trailer. So this is just like an actual trailer. And this was in June. So the one that we just looked at was in May. So announced in December, first actual trailer in May, and the second trailer in June. And this is The Hunter's Journey. We get to see Valahara. Our first look at Valahara. And a look at the story.
Over there!
Like, even with just these few trailers, we know already that this has way more of a story than we've had in Monster Hunter before. Just from these few trailers.
Why are you here?
You can't do this alone!
Get to see a look at the local people. Cutscenes.
Follow me! Jump!
And this goes straight into gameplay. God, it's so smooth. Do you remember when we were playing games on like the PS1, PS2, and all of the cutscenes looked so good? And then you go to gameplay and it's like, it's okay, I guess. It's okay. The little child me could never imagine that I would be playing games where the gameplay looks just as good as the cutscenes, and it goes directly from cutscene into gameplay, and like you can't tell the difference. I can't believe what we're witnessing.
Watch out for that glove!
So this appears to be the mission of when we actually get to fight Valahara for the first time. Of course, in the beta, we all got to experience saving one of the local village people from Valahara, but this is, I believe, this is the actual like mission cutscene story thing that leads to you hunting Valahara for the first time.
I will draw fire! Cover me!
Switching weapons again.
Be ready!
Playing, like, look at the hair. Hello? These hair mechanics on a created character. The hair in Wilds looks really good. And like being in a cutscene, in gameplay with someone who belongs to this world. One of the local people.
Take it to the rocks, we may lose them.
Getting sucked into Valahara's sand hole. And then this. Valahara, obviously Valahara isn't a pack monster. So Valahara separating from the other Balaharas coming into here to fight you. So this is actually like the intro cutscene to Valahara.
I fear we picked up our scent.
I'll handle it. You find someplace safe.
Look at that. That's totally like a... Look at this. There's gonna be Valahara written right here. It's gonna say Valahara. It's gonna say it right there. Valahara. Get to see some mechanics of Valahara. This was the Valahara, the trailer. Huh? Valahara's attacking Doshaguma. Oh, and our first look at Ray Dow. Just a little bit of a look. Just a little bit of a look. We all called him Thor Magala when we saw him because we didn't know his name, obviously. Thor Magala, because he looked like Magala, but he has lightning. Damn. And then we get to see the village. We didn't know anything about the village at this time when we first saw this. This is a Kafka village. And we get to see a little bit more of the story, the local people. This is where you can get cheese. You can get cheese from here in the beta. We also get to see in another trailer that's coming up that they have little like wind chimes that are made to sound like Raydao so that monsters don't attack the village and they assume that Raydao is over there because Raydao is the apex of the Windward Plains.
Don't worry, the hunter is here.
The hunter is here.
Just watch. You'll see what hunting is all about.
And like this is when so initially when I heard that I thought maybe we're going to be teaching him to become a hunter and like maybe we still are, but it's definitely when we get to see this in another trailer where I'll talk more about it, but these people, these villagers, they don't know anything about what a hunter is. They know nothing about it. Nothing at all. So we're showing them like, yeah, because these people who live in the Forbidden Plains, they don't actually deal with any of these monsters at all in terms of like fighting them. They don't understand the concept of hunting monsters, really. They're like, whoa, you can do that? What the heck? So we're kind of showing them what a hunter is, what the guild is, and I think that's going to be a lot of the story. Again, we do not look at leaks. We don't look at them. Well, I like to be surprised. I like to talk about theories without knowing if I'm correct. But yeah, having the local people be taught about hunting monsters and weapons and how we don't use weapons against other people and everything that we hunt is sanctioned by the guild and it's like a really official thing. Seems to be a big part of the story. This was August 20th that we got to see the third trailer. The guild has this complex where they feel that hunters are essential to maintaining the ecosystem, and I think the existence of these villages will challenge that. I agree, Fish Boy. I agree. I think we're going to see a lot of like guild things being challenged and thoughts that we had about the way things are done being challenged. I think there's going to be some clashing of heads between like the guild and the local people. Absolutely. This trailer is nuts. Honestly, every trailer is so right away we're like, oh, another area. This is a new area. Wow.
My word. Is this a Lalabarina Floret?
Lalabarina Floret. We get to see, so this is a different unit. We have our unit, so there's us as the hunter, and then we have our blacksmith, and we have our handler, and then we're in the forest right now with another unit who's also exploring the Forbidden Lands with us. So we're out in the Scarlet Forest with the other hunting unit. There's Olivia and her cat. Her palico. Oh my god, dude. Just the first time that we saw this with the music, it's very like yokai. It's very Japan yokai vibes with the music and the way this looks. Seeing this, I was like, oh my god, what is this lair? I didn't even see her hanging out in the background over there. And there she is. Lalabarina. What a cool monster. Like the way she moves and this. Well, she's a ballerina mixed with like a jumping spider. I think it's a mixture. I think it's a mixture of those two things. But oh my goodness. And at this point, we had still, every trailer was showing us new monsters. Doshaguma, Chatakabra, Balahara, Raydao, Lalabarina, like all of these are new monsters. At this point, we still have not seen a returning monster. And she instantly became everyone's like new favorite monster. Here we get to see support hunters, and we've later learned that there are going to be some missions where not a full hunt, but you know where it's like push back Uthduna. There's when you push back Uthduna, I think Olivia is with you as part of the story. And I'm going to guess maybe that's when they introduce you to support hunters. They might do it earlier, but she actually is fighting alongside you as a support hunter. A look at the dual blades. Our first look at the dual blades. There's the village again.
We could do a lot worse for an interim camp.
Sorry, the interim camp, not an internment camp. Guys, those are different things. Just putting that out there. In case you were confused at any point. He's confused. It looks beautiful. Palicos. Local village people? It's these thingies. This is what I was talking about. Yeah, in the extended cut, we got to see Kaku, and then we got to see Konga later. But still at this point in August, we had only seen new monsters. It's crazy. But these are the wind chimes that they would use to scare off the other monsters.
The sands come alive this time of year.
The sands come alive. And if you don't know anything about this village, so they are famous for cheese. That's why you can get cheese from there. But they also breed and train sacrets for us to ride. So it's home of cheese and sacrets.
The sands come alive this
The cheese and sacrets.
like a wild beast bristling with lightning.
Ray Dow, baby.
Look at it. That must be this region's apex predator.
So we had seen Ray Dow before, obviously in that other trailer, but we didn't know that he was the apex predator of the region. And we didn't, at this point, we still don't really know about what an apex predator really means. We can guess if you've played Monster Hunter, you can understand what that probably is, but it's a little bit more intricate with the different weather, right? Because we know that apex predators end up being apex predators because they have managed to adjust to the extreme weather of that region. So Raydal takes advantage of the lightning, Uthduna takes advantage of the rainfall, and that's how they've ended up being like the deadliest monster in that area.
That must be this region's apex predator.
Guild permission granted. Begin the hunt.
Guild permission granted.
Guild permission granted. Begin the hunt.
So cool. And then the music. Oh my god, the music for Raydal. There's actually someone on YouTube who I'll here, let me get the link for you guys. So there is someone on YouTube called Rith. But what they do is they hear a little bit about what the music is in all of these trailers, right? And then they go and actually arrange it. So obviously we don't have access to the entire song at this point. We have heard it a lot now that we've played the beta. But he goes, or they go, I don't know. They go and arrange the song. So you can actually like hear what the song sounds like or might sound like in its full entirety. I was singing this song for like a month. Oops. And then all of the little details are insane. Like when Raydal uses his lightning beam on different surfaces, it creates different things. So when he uses it on the sand, it turns into these little like glass shards. It's so cool. Oh my god, yeah, we get to see the frickin' Rompopolo hammer. That's the switch axe from when we had all of the weapon reveals. Pop-up camps! Pop-up camps. So we have a video on YouTube. The thumbnail is just like, I love this. Because when people went to Osaka, Capcom Osaka, they were able to look at a bunch of other things. And one of those things is pop-up camp customization. So you can customize all of the colors and patterns of the outside, but you can also customize the little things that are outside of it. You can put like a fire, you can put lights, you can put the training barrel, you can put a table and chairs, and I cannot wait. Guys, I hope you're ready for like 10-hour pop-up camp customization streams with a side of fishing. That definitely will be MTX for these, right? Like, absolutely. But there's definitely also going to be things that we can unlock through the game. I guess you just have to think about room customization, how you can earn a bunch of things in-game, but then there's also extras. And I'm not going to lie to you. I will be buying them. Am I the problem? Yes. But Capcom can also take my money. And then this... we got to see mantles. We didn't know about mantles up until this point. This is when we learned about mantles. We still don't really know much about mantles. We know about one, and it's the ghillie mantle, and it allows you to do sneak attacks on monsters. This was also the time that we learned about the existence of sneak attacks, where we all have this extra animation that we do if we end up hitting a monster when they're unaware of our presence. can also see that it uses up the ghillie mantle. Look at that. We get to hear "Get a Load of These Claws." This was the moment that I knew my Palico will be speaking English. Because I want to hear them trash talk the hell out of monsters. And of course, you do have the option, if you do not like this, you do have the option of turning it to meows, the nyas. But yeah, I want to hear my cat trash talk some monsters. The bow focus strike. The clash attack on the sword and shield. See, they're collecting it right there. You can see the villagers just out in the world doing their thing, collecting all of it. And apparently we are going to be able to see villagers just like doing their thing when we're traveling around the world. So we'll see. But all of this, again, little details that just add to the world feeling real. I can't believe it's real. And then we got this all at the end of this trailer.
So tasty.
At this point, we were like, did they change the way that you cook steaks in the game? But then we were really happy that we heard "so tasty." And then when the beta happened, we were all trying to make "so tasty" happen, and we couldn't. We thought maybe it's just hitting the rhythm game perfectly, because now you have to actually cut on the beat to get like a perfect one. But what you have to do, if you do not know this, the way that you activate the "so tasty" is you have to do this minigame, like cooking the steak on and doing the minigame, hit it perfectly. But you have to do it in a camp location that is safe. So when you are setting up pop-up camps in Monster Hunter Wilds, it will say dangerous, it'll say like moderate or whatever it says, but there will be a location that is safe. Because of course monsters can destroy your pop-up camps, but there's some areas that monsters just like can't get to. So in safe locations, if you do this, you will be able to get the "so tasty." You will be able to get it. The next trailer, the fourth trailer, this one, oh my god. So this was in September 26th, the end of September. This was at a Sony like state of play. And this was obviously like right before we were going to be getting a bunch of news. This is the extended cut. So I think the original trailer was actually uploaded a little bit before this. But I did not expect to be getting a new Monster Hunter trailer. This was right before Tokyo Game Show happened. I was like, dude, it's Tokyo Game Show. They're going to save everything from Tokyo Game Show. They're going to save it all for then. They did not. So I was watching the Sony state of play and people were like, there's going to be a Monster Hunter trailer. I'm telling you, I'm like, you guys are crazy. Well, this is what played at the Sony state of play. And this was the day that we learned about the release date. We learned a lot of things.
Still hoping. I imagined the whole thing.
This is
Burned into my
our first look at the flagship for Monster Hunter Wilds. This is showing us, of course, our one of our main characters. So we end up finding Nata at the beginning of the game in just the middle of the desert. And we're like, what the heck? Clearly, this is not an empty land that is inhabited by 0 humans. There's people here. So we see Nata with his people. They're being attacked by Arkveld, the white wraith, and they're trying to escape.
but I imagined the whole thing.
And he's telling us about Arkveld.
Burned into my mind.
Very exciting.
So, Captain, what's your team been getting up to?
The guild gave special.
And yeah, they're part of different teams. So that's why Gemma is like, what's your team been up to? Because Olivia is a part of a different team to Gemma. The guild gave special assignments to some other of the units from the expedition.
So, Captain, what's your team been getting up to?
The guild gave special assignments to some of the other units from the expedition, mine included.
This forest.
There's her people. Oh my goodness, dude, when we saw that, so we had obviously seen the Scarlet Forest before, but seeing this, the big canopy, I was like, The Scarlet Forest is going to be my favorite location for sure. This is insane. And then we were kind of guessing that the Scarlet Forest, bad weather, extreme weather, was going to be a lot of rain. And we were, of course, correct. I mean, it makes a lot of sense that a tropical forest, would have crazy downfall. And they do indeed have crazy downfall.
My fur isn't built for this kind of weather.
And it looks so good. Oh my god. Uthaduna, baby! This was our first look at Uthaduna. I swear, every single trailer, I was just like, huh? Huh? What is that? What do you mean? Because they're showing us new areas. They're showing us new mechanics of the game. They're showing us new monsters in every trailer. And it's not just like, here's one new monster, here's another one. They show us a ton of new monsters in each trailer. It's crazy. And this is, of course, the apex of the Scarlet Forest. I love him. He's one of my favorite monsters that we've seen so far.
This is its territory. We're intruders.
And he, of course, takes advantage of the water. Like, he does big old belly flops in it, and it knocks you over and all of that. But he also, I thought this was just a part of the monster. But this is his veil. So he uses his body secretions. It's a little gross. He uses his body secretions to create this veil around him. So when you're attacking him, it's like you're hitting a shield. You're not actually doing damage to him. And when you're doing it, you're breaking his shield slowly, his veil. And then eventually he kind of looks like a naked mole rat when you break it. So yeah, he actually doesn't look like this without him creating his veil. He looks like a seal. Yeah, that's probably a better way to put it. He looks like a seal. Bang! Big belly flop. This is so cool. Look at him. And look at the waves. My god. And then the plentiful period of the Scarlet Forest. It's so beautiful. We also see that Doshaguma can be there fishing. Fishing confirmed. Fishing is in Monster Hunter World. But at Tokyo Game Show, which was shortly after this trailer, we got to see that fishing is actually a lot more involved. A lot more involved than it was before. Maybe. Look at the verticality. Throwing bombs. Pulling down this big old thing on top of Doshaguma. We also, back here, we got to see a look at what looks like to be ancient ruins. Right? Like all this stuff, it looks like ancient ruins. And we gradually got to learn more, especially at Tokyo Game Show, that there appears to be ancient civilization, ancient ruin stuff. And it's something that we all kind of thought was a thing, but we know that you collect these like ancient coins that belong to another civilization. But you can see all of that stuff. Ancient civilization. It looks so... The Woodwoods! Instantly fell in love with the Woodwoods. And we can visit them in their hideout. And they have parties on the roof, but they only have a party on the roof during the plentiful period at night. So you can hang out with them only at that specific time, which is awesome. And this we actually got to learn. This is actually a part of the intro cutscene for Chematrice. So the first time that you experience and hunt Chematrice, this is like part of that cutscene. This is part of it.
Why don't they just put the meat down?
Put the meat down. Our pal, there you go. Chematrice, baby. Our Palico coming in and saving the day. A little bit of Chematrice, a little bit of a new weapon. Not a new weapon, but you know what I mean. A new look at a weapon. And then... here we go. This trailer is 3.5 minutes long, dude. At PlayStation. This was not a PlayStation thing. I was not expecting all of this. I'm so excited for you to experience it. Arkveld!
The White Wraith. It's real.
Ding, ding, ding. ding, 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 ding.
Someone's in trouble.
It seems we must do a more thorough investigation.
What is that thing? An extinct species.
You're a hunter. You've got a weapon, and you do nothing.
That is very important, especially after the Daisy Ridley video, right? So Nata was his people were obviously attacked by the White Wraith, the Keepers. Now I'm just saying, Arkveld has chains that are not naturally a part of his body. And the reason he has chains that are attached to him is because his body has fused with the chains that were used to keep him locked up. Now, I'm not saying that the Keepers were necessarily wrong to lock him up. Maybe it was an important thing that they needed to do because they don't know about hunting monsters and all that good stuff. But Arkveld is absolutely a people-created thing. He's created by people, right? But I think that the part where Nata is like, you're a hunter, you have a weapon, and you don't do anything, give me the weapon, is really important. Because the guild is all about keeping an equilibrium and the ecosystem being good and balancing things out. And generally, we are not supposed to hunt things into extinction. That's a part of the rules of the guild. We're not supposed to hunt them into extinction. Arkveld was thought to be extinct. So he's probably the last of his species, right? So that's why I think that like what some of you guys have said in chat is going to be really important is that we're going to be having this look at how the guild deals with stuff, right? Because the guild's going to be sitting here with a monster that is extinct or on the brink of extinction. And we are being, obviously they want us to hunt it. The local people don't want Arkveld just hanging around. And we're having to grapple with that decision of making a species extinct, which the guild does not do. So I think that's going to be a huge part of the story of what does it mean to be a hunter? What does it mean for like the guild to have all these rules and regulations? The guild will probably look at itself and go, we might have to change the way we do things. So it's I'm really interested to see where the story goes. Or yeah, maybe we end up saying that this is why they have rules. I'm so intrigued. Because again, the guild has been the guild and handlers, and so we know that they exist and they do their thing and la la la. But this is putting all of that at the forefront of the story of Monster Hunter.
You've got a weapon, and you do nothing.
Lala Barina Lance, baby.
Give it to me.
Offset attack with the hunting horn.
Give it to me, and I'll...
And then this was the extended cut. So this was our first ever look at a returning monster. And this was a huge one. He's going to be a pack monster. He hasn't been in the game for a very long time. Mr. Cuckoo. Mrs. Cuckoo. And there's a lot of them. There's like 20 up there. And then this. I lost my mind. I lost it. We got the flagship being shown. We got the release date. I was not prepared. I was not prepared for all of this at a Sony State of Play PlayStation thing. I wasn't prepared. The music is peak. It really is. We got to see pre-order bonuses. I'm excited. But I think it's really going to be an equilibrium of balancing a bunch of things. Balancing monsters and people, humans and monsters living together. It's a balance of why we hunt and how we hunt and examining that. It's a balance of the White Wraith and the Black Flame. Perhaps. Not confirmed. Just in my brain. This was the last trailer that we got. The last trailer from Monster Hunter Wilds was in October 23rd. And this is the 5th trailer. And we got a lot of stuff in here too. Oh my god, it just kept happening. This is the trailer that gave us the Oil Well Basin. So at this point, we've seen 3 areas, 2 apexes.
Azuz, The Everforge.
Azu's the Everforge.
They're starting without us.
Just look at that firebrand go.
This area is so interesting. The layout is so cool. And then here, this was, for me, I don't know if there was a confirmation before, but this was like the confirmation of Cool Drink existing, because this is obviously like an environmental thing that we're interacting with, and we're drinking the Cool Drink. And then this, my beloved. The first time we got to see Rom Popolo. I love him so much. I love him with all of my heart. We have an emote on Twitch and YouTube that is Rom Popo. It's Rom Popolo with a bobby hat. And then he gets attacked by a Jarrakan. He's getting squeezed. This man is the one responsible for the hammer armor, like the super dope looking armor and the super dope looking weapons. It looks so good. I fell in love with him immediately and wanted to make an emote out of him. So if you're a Twitch sub or a YouTube member, you have a Rom Popo emote. Rom Popo. I cannot wait to fight him. Then we got to see a Jarrakan, another new monster, who uses his environment to climb things and fall on you and smack you around. This map is really, really cool. It's really cool. His armor is also gonna look dope. And he's also a pack monster. So a Jarrakan is another pack monster for the oil well basin. I find this whole thing really funny, by the way. They're like, hell yeah, light up the forge, baby. Just wait, if you haven't seen it before. We beckoned it. We did that. It's beckoned. Of course, this is showing the inclemency period of the oil well basin is things get really hot. So actually, I don't know if you're gonna have to pop a cool drink in the regular times, or if you only have to pop a cool drink when the inclemency period is happening. I don't know. Obviously, you will need one when the inclemency is happening. See, there's the pack monster. There's Olivia interacting like that. That's a crazy environmental interaction. That's crazy. This, I lost my mind at this. Look at that. This is the Rompopolo Lance. It looks so good.
No.
I just find this so funny. Yeah, we've beckoned it with our own hands. Oh no. Guys, we set the fire. Oh no, it's on fire. And then this motherfudger. This motherfudger. I'm not saying I don't trust him, but like there's all this stuff happening and look at his face. This is everyone in the area is like, oh my God, it's a disaster. And he's like, this is not a face of concern. This is not the face of someone who's like happy that this is happening necessarily. This to me is the face of someone who's, yeah, pondering the situation, thinking, I wonder what I could do with this. Now, the reason that I say it is because look at this. Werner. He's the Astrum unit Smithy, a physics and engineering specialist and a leading mind in weapon technology. This is when I started thinking, maybe we will get a new weapon. This was me going, this is suspicious. This is suspicious. He's considering that he is a leading mind in weapon technology. I see this reaction of Werner as being a thing of like, I wonder what I could do with that. You know, it's kind of like a, like, I could make a weapon out of you. You know, like that's the vibes I get from Werner. So it also makes me wonder, you know, we've had this whole thing of the ultimate super dragon, super duper weapon. Maybe he's doing something like that. He's trying to figure out how to turn it into a weapon. So I think what realistically could be happening here is maybe after this point, we end up getting an upgrade to all of our weapons, maybe. Like, maybe it's introducing another system that we can interact with for our weapons? Maybe. And then... the Black Flame! And he's holding 2 Ajaricon in his little hands, by the way.
Why? This wasn't supposed to happen.
Here we go. Dude, he's so cool. He's so cool. Now, a thing I want to say about the Black Flame and the White Wraith, I do not think it is a coincidence that we have the White Wraith and the Black Flame. Do not think it's a coincidence that they're using that terminology, right? I don't think that's a terminology. And also, another thing that links them is Arkfeld is clearly created by humans, right? He's created by humans because he wouldn't have these chains if it wasn't for humans. The Black Flame is also kind of... he's here because of people. Like, they started the Everforge, and now the Black Flame is back and causing a ruckus. So I think if we didn't end up... well, we didn't do it. If they didn't end up setting all of this stuff on fire, the Black Flame probably wouldn't have come out. Now, it's worth noting that he is not listed as the apex of the Well Basin. He is just a mysterious monster. And so he has the same kind of terminology as Arkfeld has, where it's this mysterious, long-forgotten monster. Who are they? Where are they from? He has same terminology as Arkfeld. So he is not listed as the apex. He is... I think he's a bigger part of the story. So this is why I think there's this whole thing of, like, the balance of humans and how we end up creating the monstrosities that hunt us and haunt us, you know? I think it's a conversation about that. It's a conversation about how the guild deals with all of this stuff, because humans are not hunters are not supposed to interact with the environment and the monsters so much that we change the way things work, right? We're not supposed to do that. Whereas right here, we are seeing that humans are responsible for Arkfeld and his chains. We thought he was extinct, and now we're battling with the idea of having to kill an entire species. And now we're looking at the Black Flame, who is here now because people started the Everforge. So I'm genuinely really excited for the story of Monster Hunter Wilds, because I think that is going to be a very interesting examination of the guild and the balance of everything. He's a creature that has adapted to an ecosystem that's basically a giant forge made by an ancient civilization. So they're totally both creatures that were made by people. Yep. They're both creatures that were made by people. The Black Flame, the White Wraith. And his armor and weapons are going to be so sick. It's going to be so sick. I love him. And then this flashback? Clearly this has happened before. I don't know why we want to... oh my god. This has clearly happened before. Which was also interesting. And then, my other point, my final point of this, right? You see you've got the white... you've got the white part of the logo. You've got the black part of the logo. It's just like a lot of yin and yang. The White Wraith, the Black Flame. It's all connected. Very, very interesting. Oh, Cal has some knowledge. Hey, look at this. The name of the Smith weapon tech is Werner. So Werner von Braun was a pioneer in rocket technology around World War II into space race. We're going to space! We're going to space. All right, that's my final theory. We're going to space. Monster Hunter 7 is going to be in space. Those are all the trailers of Monster Hunter Wilds that we had through 2024. It's been a crazy journey thinking about not even knowing the game existed, you know? This time last year, we just learned that the game existed. And now we are 58 days away from having it in our hands. And it makes me a little emotional. I don't know. There's just... the Monster Hunter series is just one of those series that there's nothing quite like it. when you hear that proof of a hero in game for the first time, it always makes me tear up. It's a game that I like to live in. You know, there's games that you play and then there's games that you live in. And I want to be hunting monsters, of course, but I want to be finding endemic life, and I want to be customizing my pop-up camp and customizing my character and making all of the armor and fishing and hanging out with the woodwoods and finding secrets and delving into the lore of the world. I want to really devour this game like no other. And 2024 was already like an incredible year being a Monster Hunter fan, and 2025 is probably going to be the best time ever being a Monster Hunter fan. Thank you, all of you, for joining me on our journey, of our Monster Hunter journey. I can't wait to be streaming on Twitch and streaming on YouTube and making videos every day, 10-hour day streams every day, 24/7 videos every day. It's gonna be so incredibly fun. And like this year for me with Monster Hunter has really been huge too, because of all of you guys, because of all of you being invited to Capcom to play Wilds. I never thought that would ever happen. Being in a video on the Monster Hunter channel, like talking to Joe, the community manager, and it's been incredible, and I can't wait. I can't wait for more. I can't wait. Happy New Year, everyone! The end of 2024, going into 2025, the best year of our lives, I'll say.